Welcome to Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters.
And I'm Eric Beideman.
Fall athletics are underway at Wilkes University and the Colonels are back in full swing.
This season, Wilkes football is 3-0 under the leadership of head coach Jonathan Drach. In his first season, the Colonels went 6-4 overall.
With wins against Hartwick, Lebanon Valley, and Lycoming, Wilkes has remained 3-0 through the first 3 games of the season, their first time doing so since the 2009 season.
With an impressive performance from senior captain Bud Moyer, the Colonels were able to claim the double overtime victory against Lycoming this past weekend. Moyer had 2 interceptions, one of which sealed the game for the Colonels, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass breakup.
With an impressive start to the season, we want to gain some insight on the Colonels' approach thus far. Now we'll toss it over to Teylor Gordy, who's sitting down with Coach Drach to discuss the status of Wilkes football.
Thanks, Kirsten. Today we're here with Wilkes football head coach Jonathan Drach. Thanks for joining us today, Coach Drach.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
It's good to see you after the team extended their winning streak to 3 games this following week and a 24-17 win over Lycoming.
Yeah, it was a good win.
So, talking about this past week, what was your focus preparing for this game, and how did your team game plan turn out during the course of the game?
I think we really had an emphasis on stopping the run. I think our defense did a fantastic job of making sure that they didn't have an opportunity to prolong drives and get them off the field in 3rd down. And then offensively, we just had to take what they gave us. We got some long balls early, and then we were able to kind of work the underneath and intermediate routes as we went into the 2nd and 3rd quarter. And that allowed us to continue to stay on the field and own the time of possession. And in the end, that's what really came down to winning for us.
Very much agreed. How does it feel to remain unbeaten considering the team hasn't performed this well in recent years? Did the team have any weaknesses last year that you honed into strengths this year?
I think we've grown a lot. You know what I mean? We have this saying, and go get your 1% and continue to improve and be a little bit better every day. And we've done that. And our guys have worked really, really hard in the offseason to make sure that they've set themselves up to be successful this fall. We learned from some of our mistakes last year. We took steps forward last fall, but now we've taken another couple steps forward in the beginning of this year, and we're looking forward to doing that again in 2 weeks.
All right, thanks, Coach. What players have been a valuable asset to your team's locker room in regards to keeping the team together?
I think our captains do a great job. You know what I mean? We have great leadership within our team, and Dane Tarantelli and Bud Moyer and Vinnie Werner, and the names go on and on as far as that goes. But those guys have done a spectacular job of keeping the team together. We have great young leadership as well. Our freshman class is really, really strong. There's a lot of those guys contributing for us right now, and they've really set their sights on taking that next step. And that next step for us is going 4-0 in a week.
That's great. Sounds good. How did you feel leading into the bye week and your upcoming game against the Alvernia in the following week? Will you use this week as extra time to prepare, or will you use it to recharge?
I think a little bit of both, to be honest. I think we're a little bit banged up right now, so it's going to be nice to be able to recharge and get healthy. At the same time, we're going to continue to work on Alvernia and continue to take steps forward. We'll start our game planning for them today. And then we will continue to work throughout the course of the week and really kind of fine-tune things by next week. But this week our schedule will be a little bit lighter. We only have 3 practices this week. We give the guys the weekend off so they can go home and recharge. We've had them here since the beginning of August now. So they haven't been able to go home for almost 7 or 8 weeks. So it's nice for them to be able to go home and see their families and spend a little time away from football.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate it.
I appreciate having you here today. We wish the best of luck to you the rest of the season. And now back to Kirsten and Eric for more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Taylor. Hopefully the Colonels can rest and recharge in preparation for their homecoming matchup against Alvernia on October 5th.
In other sports news, men's soccer has played 2 double overtime contests in the past 2 weeks, securing draws against Haverford and Keystone, with a victory against Susquehanna in the middle.
Sophomore goalkeeper R.J. Rao has been an important piece to the Colonels' success. He made 10 saves in the tie with Haverford, 7 saves in his second shutout against Susquehanna, and 3 saves in the 1-1 draw with Keystone, earning him back-to-back MAC Freedom Player of the Week honors.
On the women's side, the Colonels did not have as impressive of showings, falling 3-0 to both Susquehanna and nationally ranked Arcadia.
Despite 5 shot attempts for Wilkes, none of them found the back of the net against Susquehanna. Similarly, the Colonels' meek 2 shots against number 19 Arcadia left their scoring opportunities to a minimum.
However, the game did remain scoreless through the first 45 minutes of play against Arcadia, demonstrating Wilkes' ability to face stiff competition. Head coach John McNichol attributes this in part to defensive efforts from junior center backs Catherine Gregoire and Neve Harkins.
Reflecting on the contest, McNichol said, quote, "As we continue to get more comfortable with the way we want to play, I think there's going to be a lot more positives going forward. But for today, they did a really nice job, particularly in the first half." Looking ahead to their contest with Scranton, McNichol added, "Scranton is a great team. They're tough. They're not scoring as many goals as they have in the past, so I think it's going to be a pretty tight matchup for us."
Wilkes will face Scranton tonight at 7 p.m. on their home turf.
As for field hockey, the Colonels dominated with 3 shutouts this week against Moravian, Wilson, and Bryn Athyn.
Sophomore forward Morgan Murphy has been a force to be reckoned with, scoring back-to-back goals in the 3-0 victory against Wilson and scoring an additional 2 goals in the 7-0 blowout against Bryn Athyn.
Junior defender and midfielder Lauren Baldwin has also been impressive, scoring the only goal of the contest to beat Moravian, as well as adding 2 goals to her tally against Bryn Athyn.
Sophomore goalkeeper Maya Zach made 7 saves combined in the 3 contests.
As for women's volleyball, their only win of the week came on a 3-0 sweep against Clark Summit.
Senior co-captain Jamie Mikovic filled the stat line with 13 kills, 23 digs, 4 blocks, and 4 aces.
Sophomore setter Carly Huffman finished with 31 assists and 7 digs, and senior co-captain Julie Murphy contributed 17 digs and a career-best 4 assists.
In cross-country news, the Colonel's standout performance dates to September 15th, when both the men's and women's teams placed 3rd at the Queensboro Invitational.
For the men, senior Kevin Singel finished the 5-mile race in 31 minutes and 42 seconds to secure a 14th place finish. Sophomore John Zick and junior Noah Molina both completed the race in a little over 31 minutes as well, snagging 16th and 19th places finishes respectively.
On the women's side, the Colonels earned their second third-place finish of the season. Freshman Mia Hensel finished the race in 22 minutes and 54 seconds for a 9th-place finish. Senior Caroline Rickard finished 13th.
As for men's and women's golf, the women have gone 2-1-1, whereas the men have lost all 4 of their contests.
Sophomores Sarah Sorber, Cassidy Taylor, and Gwen McConnell posted victories in Wilkes' win over Kings.
As for the Beacon's Athlete of the Week, on the men's side, it's sophomore soccer player RJ Rao, and on the women's side, it's senior volleyball player Jamie Mikovic.
Be sure to grab your copy of the Beacon that comes out today to see the Athlete of the Week spreads and the rest of the sports section. Now that's all we have today for Sports Now. I'm Kirsten Peters.
And I'm Eric Beideman. Wilkes Now will be right back after this public service announcement.